Hello and welcome. Now, the Ghana Enterprise Agency, in partnership with the Ministry of Trade and Industry, has begun the disbursement of over 14 million cedis to some 210 small and medium-scale enterprises as part of government's response to the impact of COVID-19 on their businesses. The Chief Executive of the Ghana Enterprise Agency, Kosiyanke Aye, says the funds will aid the expansion and growth of private sector businesses and create employment for Ghanaians. She was speaking at the grant agreement signing ceremony between the agency and selected beneficiaries. Here's more.
The Ghana Enterprise Agency has signed a grant agreement with over 210 SMEs to help expand their businesses and recover from COVID-19 losses. According to Chief Executive of the Ghana Enterprise Agency, Kosiyanke Aye, the funds will help in the purchase of equipment and raw materials for the optimization of outputs.
Very much. If you remember when the President launched the Ghana Enterprises Agency, he launched the GETP, which is the Ghana Economic Transformation Project grant as well. Now, this grant project was to provide support. It was a COVID response grant to support the SMEs, small medium enterprises, to boost them, to help them, to strengthen private sector so they can access some form of support and be able to also in turn sustain their businesses and create jobs. Today, what we disperse, this is the first phase of the disbursement. So there are different phases. The first phase of it, we gave 13 million Ghana cedis, in excess of 13, almost 14 million Ghana cedis. And then the next phase of it would also determine the next step. It would also be another 14 million Ghana cedis, which will be done even before the year ends as well.
Mrs. Kosiyanke further mentions that regular checks and audits will be done to ensure that the funds are used judiciously.
So this component really, the way it's set up is.
Away from that, the Bank of Ghana is in the process of launching an automated consumer complaints management system for commercial banks in the country. Now, the chatbot, which is a technology-driven initiative, will allow the central bank to respond timely to the needs of bank customers and business partners. The governor, Dr. Ernest Addison, who disclosed this to stakeholders in Accra, is hopeful that this will boost consumer confidence.
The manual supervisory tools are ineffective in the supervision of digital financial services due to their dependence on digital technology, high frequency and dense data, fast transactions, complex and evolving systems. Consequently, the Bank of Ghana has invested in sub-tech tools to exercise effective oversight and supervision of digital financial services and reduce the burden of reporting for regulated entities. An online reporting analytics surveillance system, ORAS, has been set up to facilitate submission and improve analysis of prudential and other regulatory returns. A complementary supervisory intelligence tool that accepts granular data which are analyzed for patterns and trends, timely-based policy interventions is also on board. An additional chatbot project, which is an automated consumer complaints management system, is also in the offing and will help address market conduct concerns. Ladies and gentlemen, it is important that regulations keep abreast with the rapid changes in the system without stifling innovation. The bank has adopted the regulatory and innovation sandbox approach to deal with this issue.
And that's Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Ernest Addison. There, away from that, the General Superintendent of the Assemblies of God Church, Reverend Professor Paul Frimpong Manso, has urged the management of rural banks in the country to abide by the regulations of the Bank of Ghana and Apex Bank in their operations. This, he believes, would ensure sanity in the banking sector, which will replicate the growth of the economy and prevent future crises in the banking sector. Reverend Professor Frimpong Manso was speaking at the commissioning of the whole branch of the Federal Rural Bank, a subsidiary of the First Sky Group.
Poor corporate governance, non-performing loans, and regulatory lapses were some of the causes of the banking crisis, which led to a cleanup in 2017. The cleanup saw the revocation of licenses and consolidation of some indigenous banks. The General Superintendent of the Assemblies of God Church, Reverend Professor Paul Frimpong Manso, is therefore cautioning banking institutions to always abide by the regulations of the sector to avert future crises.
Whenever I see a bank, I think about our regulators, the Bank of Ghana, Apex Bank, and all those other people in our associations, like the Association of Rural Bank and the rest. Let us try to play the games right. Let us not cut corners so that they will come on us and we will feel that things are not good. Next is the media. I have seen them to be makers and breakers. And I'm appealing with you, when you hear anything good about Federal Rural Bank, you don't need our permission to go on air and tell people. That's why you are there. But when you hear anything wrong, please make sure you have investigated and get the right story before you go out. Because one statement can break and destroy everything that this company has brought in.
The board chair of Federal Rural Bank, Professor Richard Bani, explained that the bank would provide social intervention services aimed at promoting the growth of the local economy.
Our philosophy is not profit-based. This is a social intervention that we are doing. None of the shareholders takes a dime from the bank. Everything that we get will be plowed back into the community. We also have social responsibility policy where we support good causes. During the pandemic, Federal donated PPEs worth 100,000 Ghana cedis to the Margaret Marquardt Hospital, Kandu. So that is the way we go, and that's the way we are going to go.
The executive chairman of the Fed Sky Group, Eric Kuto, said the bank would offer loans to micro, small and medium-scale enterprises at low interest rates. Fred Kwame Asari, Joy News.
We now get on to the upstream sector. The future oil exploration in the country could face some financing challenges in the future. It's coming on the back of renewed pressure on banks to cut lending to firms operating in the oil exploration space. George Riafi has more.
It first started from shareholders of these firms that is putting pressure on them to cut carbon dioxide emissions as part of the Green Revolution, climate change and global warming campaign. It is believed that this is one of the reasons why oil exploration giant ExxonMobil had to abandon its works in Ghana due to concerns from its shareholders. But it has moved from just morale swishing to some governments around the world like the UK now asking for to cut lending to these areas and channel funding to green initiatives. There's even a 2030 to 2050 deadline being considered now. Indeed, it costs millions of dollars to carry out these initial works to establish the commercial viability of some of these oil deposits. So if these investors and governments around the world should have their way, exploration works in the future in Ghana could struggle to raise the required funding, a development that may put a lot of pressure on Ghana when it comes to funding some of these works. Some have argued that it might be the right time to put in place the required incentives that would help these firms in Ghana fast track exploration.
That was George Riafi's report. The Minister for Energy, Dr. Matthew Poku-Prempeh, earlier this morning spoke about how Ghana has positioned itself to fully stick to renewable energy as the country's contribution towards fighting the negative impact of climate change. Speaking in an energy meeting on the sidelines of the ongoing UN Climate Change Conference in Glasgow, Dr. Poku-Prempeh also used the opportunity to woo investors interested in renewable energy to partner the Ghanaian government to do so.
Ghana is restructuring the clean cooking sector to attract innovative climate financing for a sustainable development. In conclusion, I would like to highlight the following. Ghana is committed to achieving its nationally determined contributions under the Paris Agreement. To this end, we are committed to partner with well-meaning development partners to mobilize resources to achieve targets set out in the Paris Agreement. Investment opportunities in utility-scale distributed generation, mini-grid and off-grid renewable energy-based electrification systems are available, and we welcome investors to explore these opportunities. There are opportunities for clean cooking, including promotion and distribution of LPG and biomass technologies. Finally, Ghana is positioned to partner prospective investors to scale up its renewable energy penetration with respect to remote off-grid communities as part of our last mile electrification.
Away from climate-related matters, let's now talk the budget, because the Ghana Union of Traders Association is appealing to government not to reverse the policy on the 50% reduction on benchmark value in the 2022 National Budget Statement. According to Dr. Joseph Obeng, businesses are in serious distress and finding it difficult to operate. Hence, any attempt to reverse the policy will spell doom for doing business in the country, especially within the trading community. The GUTA president also says there is no objection when it comes to government's decision to increase taxes on non-essential goods such as alcoholic drinks, cigarettes and other related products that may be harmful to human health. Well, he joins us via Zoom for more explanation. We're grateful, Doc, that you could join us. The finance minister has assured there will be no taxes introduced in the budget. Why is GUTA so anxious of, if not suspicious about attempts to reverse the benchmark value?
Yeah, this is the information that we are getting through. Some few months back, we were talking about this issue. People were lobbying that this benchmark value policy be reversed. But we are maintaining that the benchmark value came to solve a problem, and the problem still persists, and that nobody can reverse it. In that, we have demanded the reduction of the duty rate, and government said that because of the common external tariffs of ECOWAS, they cannot touch the duty rate itself, but then they will discount for us. So once they are not going to be able to reduce the duty rate, then there's nothing that they can also do on the discount that they've given to us, because this is the only mitigating factor for businesses to survive at this time, especially in the wake of COVID. We are surviving because of this, the benchmark reduction. And we cannot contain any further cost, additional layer of cost of doing business, especially when this year also saw introduction of new taxes. We cannot take it any longer. Because the world commodity prices have gone up astronomically high, freight charges have gone up, and then internally also the port charges and other levies have also gone up. So how can the final consumer even be able to absorb all these costs? And also for the trading community to also be able to do business.
In the heat of COVID-19, we saw the supply chains disrupted across the world. Here in Ghana, we had the importers community having to face the brunt at the various port, entry points. But what's the current state now of clearing goods at the port? You stated the fact that, freight charges are on the roof now, but help us appreciate the current state of clearing goods at the port. Yeah,
if you have seen another gentleman, a journalist of your another station of yours showed the item list of charges and levies, hovering around 18 different items that we pay at the port. We had thrown down these levies to about 12, and now it is also going up again. It used to be 19, and now it's going up the roof, especially this time when businesses are in distress because of the COVID. Then we have to do something about the fees and charges at the port. We cannot bear this any longer. And then exchange rate is also going high to the level of about 6.3. And this is not the time. This definitely is not the time for any additional layer of cost. And we cannot simply contain it. That's all that we want to let government know. And that if there's any decision of that sort, they should reverse it, because we cannot contain it for the importing community and also the consuming public of Ghana. because we sell to them and we know their strength and we know their capability. If care is not taken, then when that benchmark is removed, most businesses will collapse.
Well, so Doc, what reforms, if any, must be introduced to ensure smooth clearing of goods at the port? Because, you know, the budget is just a few weeks away, and even beyond the budget, there are going to be deliberations in Parliament. So what particular reforms are you looking out for?
Yeah, we've pushed this, and you know, we pushed it so many times, and governments have set up a committee under the Road and Transport Ministry, where we are evaluating these levies for revision. As of now, we have been able to compile everything, make the necessary suggestions, and send it to the economic management team, for which we are waiting results. So we believe that when those things are done, and especially the report that we've been making about the shipping lines, they are just extorting from the importing community. It's pure thievery, and that we've complained so many times, because it's only government that can come in, sit in, and talk to these people to order. And we are doing all these things so that at least we can do smooth business at the port. Otherwise, things are getting bad.
Speaking of things getting bad, of course, just a few days away, Joy Business was able to pick up that industry watchers are predicting, if not projecting, an increase in the price of cement. Of course, we've also been to various market centers where traders are also saying that the cost of goods could go up, you know, in the wake of the depreciation of the cedi and matters regarding the ports. From your angle, where you sit as president of GUTA, where do we see the cost of goods and services as we approach Christmas?
Yeah, because the volume of import is going to go up, and then it's going to put a lot more pressure on the dollar. And so it is as clear as everything. That's why we do not have to overstretch businesses at this point, at this sensitive time. And so if there is not taking, prices will reach at a level that even the people, the consuming public itself, will then start agitating and maybe complaining. And so this is what we are all trying to avoid, because if they are not able to buy, then it also affects our turnover, and it helps us. It helps us, and then ourselves also, we do not have the means or the access to affordable credit. Access to affordable credit is very high, and then you are paying high duty and all that.
Right.
It means that business will just have to collapse, and it shouldn't be so also.
Doctor, we're so grateful that I could join as president of the Ghana Union of Traders Association. But just before you go, you have stated the fact that there isn't going to be any objection to the increase in sin taxes. And what other expectations do you have ahead of the budget reading?
Yeah, we have made our input into so many areas, especially the issues of interest rate, that government should do everything for the cost of borrowing to come down. And then for the taxes of these commodities that I was talking about, is due, we brought it because of some meetings that we've entered into, and then this issue also came up, that if those harmful materials got high duties, do we have problem? We said no, because it's going to help us fight diseases and all that. That's why we put that at the tail end of our request.
Doc, we're grateful once again that you could join us. As always, president of the Ghana Union of Traders Association. You're still watching Marketplace. We're going for a short break. We'll be right back. To stay with us. And welcome back. Now, the U.S. Ghana Alumni Association, in its bid to rebuild, redesign, and renew is organizing a virtual trade show on the 6th of November 2021. Now, the theme is promoting synergy to project brands in Ghana. The trade show will start at 12 noon and end at 2 p.m. The virtual trade show seeks to create a platform for alumni to showcase their products and services to a wider audience and potential buyers without having to participate in a traditional physical trade show. Priscilla Zangina is the General Secretary of the U.S. Ghana Alumni Association, and she joins us via Zoom with more. So we're grateful that you could join us, Priscilla. Promoting synergies to project brands in Ghana, why the theme?
Okay, so thank you very much. And the reason for the theme this year is because of the COVID and digitization that is ongoing. There's the opportunity for people to meet one-on-one is not like it's limited, but then having a digital platform like the virtual trade show would give a ready market to vendors who are on the show. So vendors come display their product, and then a wider range of people, like for the association, we have over 3,000 people who are watching, and then they are able to patronize their products when they are showcased during the virtual trade show. So that's why we chose the theme.
Well, that's great. But, speaking of the U.S. Ghana Alumni Association, we do know that, you guys run so many projects. But how has the impact solution been so far in forging closer ties between the United States and Ghana?
Okay, so the U.S. Ghana Alumni Association is actually a new association that was set up in March. But before that, it consists of all exchange programs, like students who have been on a U.S.-sponsored, state-sponsored program. So before the inception of the U.S. Ghana Alumni Association, the exchange programs were individual, and they were seeking for grants individual, running their projects individually. But with the U.S. Ghana Association right now, what we are doing is that now everybody, we come together and then we form projects and we give back to community based on the experiences that we gained when we went on that program. Yes.
That's great. So who can participate in this event?
So alumni can participate in this event, and then entrepreneurs, people who have something to show and they want people to buy. So alumni can show their products, vendors can also show their products. It's not limited to only alumni. However, the catch here is that for alumni, it is free. But then for vendors outside, you pay just a token of 50 cedis just for getting a booth and then showcasing on that day.
All right, so Priscilla, for those watching and those who are interested in partaking of this event, what key expectations should they expect from the Alumni Association?
Okay, so one key expectation they should expect is that they have a platform of over 3,000 people that are going to be watching, and then they are going to patronize their goods in the end. Even if they don't buy themselves, they'll recommend to other people to also do, and then you get to network with other people too on our different platforms.
That's great. Priscilla Zangina, General Secretary of the U.S. Ghana Alumni Association. We look forward to that particular project. Many thanks for joining us. And of course, that's how we end this edition of The Marketplace. I'm Charles Aite. For more news, please log on to myjoyonline.com to get yourself updated on developments in Ghana and abroad. Many thanks once again for watching. Enjoy the rest of our programs.